I would love to see that movie, but Google translated.
But good.
I wish we could do that. Like, put like a movie into, and then it just,
In
you know.
your mind.
In your mind.
Sorry.
Just translate it into Swedish.
Yeah. Swedish, in your mind.
In your mind.
Okay.
Hello, children. Welcome to the Sketchbook Heroes podcast with Fidgety Rob and
Dippity Ilias.
Dippity.
Dippity. Serendipity.
Serendipity. Cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Episode 186.
Six. The number of the beast.
If you have it 2 more times, god damn it.
No, we did 3.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, then never mind. Then we did good.
The Nirvana.
Something's in the way. I'm Batman.
I laughed too hard.
Robert laughed so hard he spilled whiskey on his one hand.
Damn it. Okay, let's
sippity sip.
see how this is.
Nutty flavor. That's nuts. What is it?
Definitely stronger than the last one.
Mm-hmm. Okay, give it here.
But it smells like turpentine, which is good.
I think it smells like whiskey.
Oh yeah. But it does have that coffee after taste.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time finding the coffee, but that's the thing. For me, most whiskeys, but this one has this lingering thing in my throat, like a tickle. Yeah. I don't know what to call it, but...
Yeah, that burning kind of...
Exactly. Like the last one felt nicer, though. Like the
smoother.
after... Yeah, smoother.
It definitely was.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed that one. What was it called? Oishi, I think. I don't know if anybody listening likes Japanese whiskey.
I'm not even going to try to pronounce this one because it sounds super racist.
Yeah. This one is just coffee grain. Coffee grain whiskey.
Yeah.
Something good.
Nikka.
Yeah.
Coffee whiskey. Yeah.
It was okay.
It was okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we're back.
Yeah, we're back. And this week we're going to talk about inspiration.
What is it? How do you get it? Where do you...
None of that, because we've already said all that in some prior episode. But we're going to take you back to a journey like where we're used to... Where did we get inspiration before social media, you know?
Yeah.
And I guess streaming services popped up, you know, like everything is so accessible. So we thought we were going to deep dive back to, you know...
The beginning of the interwebs.
The beginning of the interwebs before the interwebs, yeah.
Before we even knew how to
Before we knew what the internet was, yeah.
Exactly.
When it was a fad.
So this will be We Are Super Old episode.
And also thank you, Karin Bakadish on Instagram for suggesting it, because that's where I got the idea. Yeah.
You cheap fuck. Not Karin, you.
Yes, I got it.
Thank you, Karin.
And we're also going to have you on the podcast.
Yeah, we need to.
At some point.
Yeah, just to hang. Maybe drink some Japanese whiskey.
And Google Translate stuff.
That's a different story.
It's a different story.
That you will definitely hear at one point. But yeah.
Other than that, I have a little thing in Photoshop that I want people to try out, so that I'm going to cover that in Tools.
Yeah, and I have a new iPad case that I'm not going to talk that much about, but just like more like the philosophy around it, I guess.
Exactly, and how expensive it was.
Yeah, that too.
Hey, for that price, you need to talk about it.
Yes. It's going to be worth it.
No, but I think it's good. Yeah. There's probably someone else thinking that it is a purchase that
it's going to be
a
very super quick review, but just in case you were thinking about buying it.
Yeah, and why you shouldn't buy it if your intention is to draw on it.
Exactly.
For example.
Yes.
Por ejemplo. Exactly.
Not racist.
No, that was Spanish.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
I think.
Yeah.
That's my Spanish. Other than that, I have been working a lot, so we can skip me. And how are you, dude?
I'm also working a lot, and a lot of shit's happened. We had to, unfortunately, put down Speedy, one of the hamsters, which was really sad. They couldn't really say what had happened, but they think he caught a cold, and that actually killed him. So it's so strange.
I don't like this
how
a lot of pets are dying.
Yeah, yeah.
Not a fan.
It's really sad. But yeah, he was really suffering at the end, so we took him to the vet, and they just said like, "Oh, he is dying. Like we can't really do anything." So they put him to sleep. So yeah, R.I.P. Speedy. You were a really good pet, and well, now he's buried in the woods next to the other furball. So
oh man, so dark.
Yeah, really, really sad. We still have the one hamster left, but that's the sad part, like, because they were bros, like literally brothers, and now he's all alone, the little fuck. So I'm hoping he's going to be more social now because the social one disappeared, so maybe he's going to step up and start maybe liking us now. I don't know. But yeah, but pretty much other than that, just work, and work. In the retro, I'm going to be talking about a new show that I binged in one sitting, and that is fucking amazing. And I'm going to try to explain what it's about. Ilias got a little bit of a preview, so he knows the chaos that is coming.
Yep.
And I also saw Parasite, finally.
Oh, shit, that Korean
Yeah, the
movie?
Korean movie. So I've seen that.
Haven't seen
And what else did I see? Started watching The Rundown and a bunch of other stuff. Or Welcome to the Jungle.
Oh, shit, that's what... Yeah.
And also Super Troopers. But yeah, a lot of stupid stuff. And yeah, working. And I also did something. So yeah, I'll talk about that maybe. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll talk about stuff.
Stuff will be talked
about, yes. Also, yeah.
And also, if you have time, please take like a second to vote up the podcast on Spotify or
rate that bitch.
Yep, rate it up. And if you have bad things to say it to someone else. Yeah,
because we got 99 problems,
and your opinion ain't one.
Yeah,
the worst. No, but seriously, your vote means everything. Like it just,
it does.
Like lets people know that the podcast is appreciated.
Yes,
and we appreciate you for taking the time.
Yeah, thanks, Grandma.
Yeah, and also we're trying to plan what we're gonna do for like episode 200.
We are? No, I'm kidding.
we
started.
We within quotation marks.
We put it out there, and then
then other people want to do something.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. So more on that later.
Yeah.
Also, thank you, Max at Underverket. I guess Fabian too, because he's part of it, but he's never here, so he doesn't exist. He's a horse or a lemon. I don't know. What else?
He's on the mailing list.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thanks to everybody, everywhere, always.
What he said.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And intro?
Yes, please.
Oh, wait.
It's like...
yes.
That's my tape there.
Artists of the world unite. Step out of your comfort zone into the danger zone.
Squirrel Man.
Mm-hmm.
And we're back.
We're back. Better than ever.
Always.
But
also never.
But mostly never.
Mostly never. Yeah.
But with that said,
inspo.
Yeah, exactly. And some of the things that I want to talk about regarding inspiration.
We already talked about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
there we go.
Toolies.
No, sorry.
No. I just wanted to. I want to dive back to like where it started for us.
Yeah.
And sort of where it is today, a little.
Like
and then,
library.
Exactly. But then I also want to talk about the accessibility of inspiration everywhere being basically thrown at you, all the time.
Yeah.
Like whatever you're doing, there's always someone creating something new. And like what we talked about before was that, like, let's say you're working on something, your own thing, and then you go on Instagram or Twitter, whatever, Pinterest, and then you start seeing, you know, like all this artwork that other people are working on, that, you know, there's always someone better. And, you know, other people's work is always more inspiring than your own. And I'm thinking if that ruins, you know, a lot of projects for people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm drawing this thing, I'm super focused on it. Then, you know, you go online and you see something that's cooler.
Yeah.
That's also established and probably, you know, further along than yours. And then you want to do basically that thing, and how that kind of affects us. Like, how you can get inspiration from online, but it can also kind of like take you out of it.
It robs you from
It stops you from like pursuing the thread of inspiration that you were on.
Yeah, exactly. It sort of takes over the steering for a bit and
exactly.
steers you the wrong way, probably. Not always. Maybe it actually works.
I think it depends on who you
yeah.
are and how susceptible you are to, you know, procrastination and that word that I'm looking for.
Yeah, that other thing.
The other.
Yes.
But before we dive into that part, and let's totally forget that and go back to the beginning, before the internet.
Yeah. There actually was a time before.
There was
the
a time
internet.
Before the internet for
First,
some of us.
It was like Big Bang, and then humans with clubs, and then internet.
Exactly.
And we're kind of in between the internet and humans with clubs. Not like, you know, cool disco clubs, but
exactly, discotheque.
Like, the wooden kind. You know what I mean.
No.
Mansplain more.
No, it's all just rubbish. Everything you said there was just no.
That is my middle name.
So how did you, like when you were a kid, like earliest memory of your first inspiration?
I think for me, like Disney movies probably, or animated movies. Yes. TV shows, Little Turtles for sure.
Dude, yes.
Yes.
I think my own
TCC.
Toys.
Oh, yeah. Packaging of toys.
Packaging of toys, very much
because that's something that just appeared in my head now. Like I haven't actually thought
about that either.
Because most of those were illustrated and
like
really cool.
Yeah.
Like G.I. Joes. Like they were all epic.
Always cool shit.
Yeah. And of course comic books. Like just going into a store and
now
seeing
that you mention it as well, you know the white G.I. Joe ninja character?
Yeah.
I drew it straight from the toys so many times, failing every time.
Yeah.
Trying to kind of get the likeness of the...
Oh, yeah.
But always failing around the failed everything, basically. But the face was so hard, you know, with the mask and everything. Or
Did you have that one?
Yeah. He had like camo pants, you know.
Yeah, because I got that one really late. I think I had to buy it in like Portugal.
I didn't have that many of those. Like I had.
Anders had like the cooler ones that I can remember.
No, I had that one. That was like one of my favorite ones.
And
I don't even remember
so
the
many
other
of them, but I like blew them up and killed them really quickly as well.
They went really well with firecrackers.
Yeah, they did. It was a lot of fun.
But I was like religious with my toys. I tried not to break them.
Yeah, I started painting on mine. Like when you're doing fights. You're like, you know, you punched open the eyebrow and yeah, of course, blood just makes it cooler. But yeah, that was a really long answer to a simple question. But right back at you then, like earliest memory.
I think it is like just movies, you know, Land Before Time.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I think it is black.
Yeah, that's not what we're talking about, dude.
Welcome.
Jean-Claude Van Damme is back.
And racist.
Apparently.
But a lot... just go back to snooze, okay?
Go to sleep, Jean-Claude.
But yeah, animated movies, Land Before Time for sure.
And then the covers, you know, like when you rented movies back then.
Yeah,
like,
most of those were illustrated or artwork.
All of them were basically illustrated.
Yeah, I mean, Drew Struzan.
What was the Coming to America that, you know, Spielberg rat movie? Rat movie.
But yeah.
With Fievel, I don't know. Coming to America, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, those movies were like had a really strong impact on me as a kid, and I drew them a lot.
Yeah.
Same thing with like Robin Hood, Disney's Robin Hood.
Yes.
That fox.
Mm-hmm. And for me, I think what's it called? The Rescuers Down Under.
Oh,
that was
shit, dude, that one blew my mind when I saw it.
I think it's one of the first movies I remember watching on at the cinema. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yes, same.
that one.
I saw that one.
And what's the movie with
What year did that come out even?
91 maybe?
Yeah, that's before
Something.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
Even,
yeah. And
because I remember seeing it at the cinema with my brother and my mom.
Yeah, exactly. I remember seeing it at the cinema with mom and dad. And I also, what was the other one? You know, where the Knatte Fnatte Chatte, whatever they're called.
Oh shit, Donald Duck?
Not Donald Duck, but the other one.
Goof Troop?
No, with McScrooge.
Oh shit,
Scrooge
that's what it is,
McDuck.
Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah. But that movie, you know, with the genie in the bottle thing.
DuckTales.
DuckTales,
Jesus
yeah.
Christ. Yeah, I was like,
Again, we're recording on a Wednesday,
on a Wednesday.
we're more fucked in the head than normally.
Normal, yeah.
Yeah. But yes, DuckTale, the
DuckTales.
movie.
Shit, I don't even remember DuckTales.
With the
movie.
genie.
Yeah, I remember it.
Fuck is it called? I'm
Dude,
like I
don't
started
remember.
watching
Something
it on
treasure,
Disney Plus.
Treasure, blah blah blah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't remember.
Yeah, The Treasure of Alibaba, I think.
No.
Yeah.
There you go.
But I think that one is the first movie that I actually saw at the cinema.
Okay, yeah.
And then Rescuers Down Under, and then Jurassic Park, kind of.
Yeah.
But for sure, like they were such a big inspiration.
Dude,
just seeing that.
movies that early at the cinema was mind blowing.
Oh yeah.
There was no internet to kind of prep you for it. You just went there and you were like, what?
Yeah, you didn't see any trailers for that.
Yeah.
You know?
There was nothing. You just went there with knowing nothing. You just knew that it was a kid's movie and that was it.
Yeah.
And it starts off with the big eagle and all, you know, like you're like, yes.
Fucking amazing.
Yep.
And I need to see that again. I haven't seen that in forever.
No, I saw it with my kids a while back.
Was it still like watchable? Good?
Yeah.
Because I remember the first one, because that's the sequel to Rescuers, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And that one was a little bit slow, but
yeah,
I
but
remember
the sequel wasn't as well drawn either. Like it wasn't as well made as the first. It was like one of those, you know, like we make the big hit and then we make another one.
Yeah, but the sequel, the Down Under one, was like a step up.
Oh, dude, it is
because it's so crazily done. Like when
no, but that's the first one.
No, it's not actually. It's the second one. The first one is a lot older. It's
Really?
they're in like New Orleans in this like.
Oh shit! Yeah, they even
animation.
refer to it in this one. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, that is true.
Because they hook up in the first one. And then he's trying to propose in the second one. So,
okay.
But they just elevated the art, like the art style, crazy. Just remember the first scene when they sort of blow through the field with all the grass and stuff.
Yeah, it's really nice.
You just heard blow.
Yeah, no, I didn't actually. I'm just trying to picture like scene by scene.
It's just like flying through this field of, I guess, grass or whatever it is. And it's so impressive and just goes on forever. And then there's the house.
Yeah,
like,
the house, the little house where they zoom in. Yeah.
It's all hand drawn.
Yeah, it's insane.
Crazy.
You can see the limitation in some cases, but it is still like, just because it is what it is.
Damn, I really need to go back and watch it now.
Yeah, I don't have a fresh memory of it either, although I saw it a few years ago.
And this just became a retro.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, that's obviously...
This episode is a retro,
It's
basically.
Yeah, more or less.
It's inspiration.
That's
what the retro is, basically.
Yeah, it is. True.
Uh,
but yeah, so that's where it started. But then I can't really think of any time where I was like so inspired, like the Mad Max incident where we had to go and draw because we were so inspired. Like I can't really think of any time before that.
No. Before that, it's too early. Like,
exactly. I mean, I'm sure we had a whole bunch of times where we did that, but I can't like recollect.
But the thing is, like inspiration, like it was so scarce that it wasn't like, oh, I'm just going to go here and look for it. No, because there was no here to look for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You just like, sometimes, you know, like my parents bought us magazines. That was a big thing back in the day. You know, I had a Turtle subscription.
Same.
Then we switched that to like Donald Duck, whatever the fuck those are called.
I had the Tintins and the...
Exactly, those ones. And then there was like these Magnum.
Yeah.
Because you had those, right?
Yeah, I love those.
Because those had like a bit of everything.
Yeah, like a snippet of a couple of magazines. So a lot of Preacher was, that's where I got we got introduced to Preacher back in the day. I think didn't you have?
No, I didn't
The
have
Preacher
it. No. I wanted to
comics?
buy the Preacher comics.
Who
I just
had-
had.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we were always on the hunt for like gory, bloody stuff that we weren't sort of allowed to watch, but nobody cared.
No, but it was back in the day. You know?
Yeah.
Like, the only time my parents cared about that shit was like if
Porno.
you came over. No, if you came over,
Oh yeah,
they were like, "Oh no, we don't show other people's kids this stuff, basically." But then otherwise, we just watched, horror with our
Everything.
parents.
Yeah.
Basically, you're
Yeah.
like,
and at
okay.
my house there was no rules.
There were no rules.
They
But
just
your dad
encouraged-
was an ass. He scared the living shit out of us
Yeah.
every time.
Oh yeah,
But we watched movies in a way that my kids watch movies. They were like enthralled.
yeah.
Like, we-
You're just so into it.
that if
Mhm.
someone touches you, you will fly out the fucking window.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
that's how you watch movies.
Yeah, but those were the fucking good old days,
Yeah,
man.
man.
That was awesome.
That was really, really fun. I remember like sitting on the couch, with both feet on, like in front of you with
Yeah.
like a blanket.
Yeah, but like the couch was as big as this room.
Dude, so big, yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
But then again, like those magazines, like I think we had like a Nintendo magazine as well
Yeah.
that we bought like monthly or however I don't remember how often it came out.
I
Like,
think it was monthly.
I think it was monthly, yeah.
Yeah.
And I used to like the thing with those magazines was there was like the cover had, like an image, and then the rest of it was basically text with like little clip art basically,
Yeah.
from different video games.
and black and white most of the time. Like they
yeah,
couldn't
and it had some
afford to
color
do-
pages
Yeah.
and some
like
uh,
the cheaper ones.
it was just like there wasn't much, but it was more than anything else. So you would draw, like I would just draw Super Mario. I would draw, whatever the fuck was in
Yeah.
it, like old Final Fantasy, like the original ones, from like 1, 2, 3, and just everything that was there. You
Yeah.
just drew everything
Yeah.
and just copied basically whatever the fuck you saw.
Yeah, and I think like if I try to go like remember back as much as I can, it was definitely just still Turtles. I think that it took over
Dude.
everything.
I think the furthest back I can remember is about 6 years old.
Yeah, 5, 6.
And dude,
Mm.
we only drew turtles.
Yeah, and it was everywhere you found
Everywhere.
turtles. You
Dude.
just try to draw that. And,
Remember when someone was sick at school
Mhm.
and you got to draw them? Like there was
Get
always
well
this
cards,
thing. Yeah,
yeah.
we always drew like get well cards or like A4s, and then they would like put it together.
staple it
yeah,
into
into a book and
Yeah.
then send it to them.
That was great.
Yeah, and in all those, I just drew turtles. It
Yeah.
didn't matter who it was for. It was just like you need the turtles.
Remember when they told us we weren't allowed to draw turtles that one time?
I don't remember. It's just,
Yeah, it was
I'm
like
just gonna
because
draw these wolves
I
with.
I think it was for like one of the girls were sick,
Mhm.
and they were like, "You can't draw turtles this time.
like
You have to draw something, draw something for that she would like." And we were
And,
like, "What the fuck does girls like?"
Turtles?
Turtle? Yeah,
girlers.
yeah. So I
Yeah.
remember drawing like a princess with a castle or something like
yeah.
ridiculous.
Castle Grayskull.
I'm sure I hid a turtle in there somewhere. Easter eggs.
Inspired.
Yeah, but yeah, turtles all the way,
Mm.
and still to this day, it's something that I can get excited about drawing. Like when I think about drawing turtles, it gets me excited, and I
haven't drawn turtles as a grown up.
It's,
And I've had it on my mind several times.
it's just such a cool concept,
I
and
love
you
it,
can
yeah.
do so many cool things with them. like-
that's the thing. And every reboot of the Turtles is something unique or in its own,
yeah.
And the rendition of like Splinter or the characters, like they're always different.
And I'm really excited to read the last one now, like the last
Oh
Ronin.
yeah, from the yeah. Oh man, that
So
looks so cool.
I think, because I haven't actually researched anything about it now, so I don't know where it went or how it's going. But I think it's like them trying to just wrap up the whole
But,
story.
Dude, what I like about stories like that is how they, like, no one's sacred,
Yeah.
and it becomes interesting because they're.
They're Game of Thronesing it.
Yeah.
Like you don't know who's
so that's
who's
pretty
going.
cool, yeah, and why they went, and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And that's why I loved Logan as well,
Yeah, exactly.
because like,
There was no
here's like the main
guarantees,
guy, he did,
Yeah. Yeah, he fucked.
and that's how you spoil that movie.
Yeah. Go watch it. Try not to cry. Yeah.
Unless you're my wife,
Mm. No, I'm sure she cried afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. Why did I marry this fucker?
Yeah.
He cries to fictional movies.
But for me, I think another, just to carry on the where I would go most of the time. Chronologically go forward. When I was a little bit more, on my own 2 feet and I could go places without supervision. Jail. No. The library.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
I was going to get to that.
Yeah.
Exact same thing.
And we did have like our cool little library in the mall.
Dude, it was so accessible even for kids.
Yeah. And so quiet and nice.
And you could get, look, even as a kid, you could get a library card.
Yeah.
I don't know how young you had to be, maybe 10-ish.
Yeah.
But I had a library card on my name.
Yeah.
So I felt responsible for the books I borrowed.
Same. And I think I had to get like 4 of those cards because you kept losing them.
Yeah.
But
it cost like 10 crowns.
Yeah. Just like $1.
Yeah.
But
super cute. And I always went there without my parents.
Yeah, same.
Like you just
and it just felt like, I think they felt safe to leave us, to let us go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always really, I've had it as sort of a sanctuary. Like it's so calm and nice, and just the accessibility to all these books and information and everything that you wanted to do. And actually even going a little bit back again, but in school, going to libraries, the school library was also fantastic. And it was like it was okay to go to the library, so you could, always leave the classroom and sort of get a little break from it all to go. Yeah. And then you had to go to the library because otherwise you were cutting class, I guess. But just nice to go and you flip through the sort of big old DK books with all the knights and swords and wolves and whatever it was. And you just start trying to draw that stuff. And yeah, like that was always such big inspiration. And then, of course, having teachers to encourage you. That was, if we didn't have like Thomas, our first like actual teacher, being like, it's okay for you guys to not do math. Like, keep drawing. Like, he was always encouraging and like nurturing that side of us, like being creatives. And he could see that so early on, and like, there is something here. We should definitely let them.
But I think like all through like 1st grade to 6th grade, they would let us like, they listen better when they draw. So they would let us draw. Whenever there was extensive talking to be done or story time or whatever the fuck they were doing, we always got to draw.
Yeah, because they knew.
They knew we listened better.
Exactly.
Because then when they asked us questions, you would be like this, that, like you would be more alert.
Yeah, which is weird, but it's...
So weird, but,
Yeah, and that goes to, like, if you speed ahead in my life, where I was at meetings at Lego, and then I had to actually tell people that this is how I listen because they were getting annoyed with me drawing all the time.
Yeah, but I got that at King as well. Yeah.
But it's just like,
allowed.
You're 30 years old and you have to explain yourself for drawing during somebody's presentation. It's like, just let me draw, okay? Yeah, do you want me to listen or not? And actually drew a turtle at that meeting, I remember now.
Very nice.
So, yeah.
Very nice.
Full straight turtle.
I remember, like, I even remember specific books that I borrowed for different reasons. Like, I don't really remember the titles, but, I remember what kind of books I borrowed. It was, like, things about ghosts and stuff.
Yeah.
Also books about samurai swords,
and
which goes without saying.
Or Waldo.
Yeah, of course. But that was more, like, in company with friends.
Yeah.
I also loved like any book on like samurai, just in general.
Or any book with like proper illustrations in it too.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it didn't really matter what it was.
And they had a section, with just drawing books. Yeah. And I remember like knowing the books. So when a book was missing, I was like, fuck. Yeah. Like, because you wanted that specific book.
Of course. Which everybody wanted. Where's Waldo?
Yeah, where's Waldo?
That was always gone. There was always somebody that borrowed it.
But I also borrowed like the Brothers Hardy, or was it that what they were called?
Grimm?
No. It was these 2 brothers. You introduced me to it. It was these 2 brothers, Harry and Joe, I think. Joe and Harry.
Was it like that detective club?
Club, yeah, they were detectives. together, and because you had like a special one with them about like ghost stories, but then there was like this whole Scooby-Doo detective series with those two kids, but it felt a bit more grown up, you know, but it wasn't.
Fuck, I can't remember the name.
I think it is the Brothers Hardy or something like that in Swedish though. But
Hardy-bröderna.
Bröderna Hardy.
Bröderna Hardy.
That's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't remember shit. Like who wrote it, who did anything.
I'm sure I still have it.
But I read those books. Like they were like right up my alley, you know, like they were, for the kid that I was, you know, like they were perfect. Like, and I just like, my mom just kept buying them, you know, like, cause there was like a million of them.
Yeah. And they were cheap.
And they were cheap. Yeah.
And also 5.
Oh yeah, those 5
like a group
detective,
of 5 kids.
Another 5 detective kids. If those 2 weren't good enough for you, yeah.
And I just remember my mom always reading that to me, like really, good memories. And I mean,
and even those like the covers and stuff. I drew like basically I drew everything I came by, and then you know when the internet came about, or no, before the internet actually, we discovered. School took us to these, like, to learn, to find our way with maps in the city. Yeah. They would do this little thing. They would give us a map, basically, and then just let us go in the city. Remember
city
that?
Walk, or whatever. Translate it to.
Yeah. Hike. I guess city hike or something like that.
Stadsvandring,
so they would give us a map, and then they would just, like, let us walk around the city, basically.
Yeah. Which was insane.
Insane, now that I think of it. Yeah, but it really did help. And remember when we found the comic book shop and everything? Yeah.
Hallelujah moment.
Dude,
right there.
yes. I think you bought Spawn #1 there?
Spawn #0, I guess.
0, yeah.
Like it's a small comic about the characters.
Oh, that was it. Yeah.
And it looks like a Bible, which is kind of so it's the Spawn Bible.
But it was like the coolest shit. And we discovered both Comics Heaven and sci-fi bookstore, yeah,
and the used one as well.
Oh yeah, the other one in the corner there. I don't remember what it was. Yeah, that was it. Yeah. But it was like that kind of opened up my world, and it gave me the confidence to sneak away from home, which is terrible. In 3rd grade, what are you, like 9?
Yeah,
and I went to the city by myself. Just, you know, relying on memory and walking to the yes, Robert, exactly.
Gotta make that money. Comics don't
come for cheap. Yeah. No, but I remember just going there by myself and walking as a little kid. You know, everyone's so tall, and you're walking basically leg height between everyone, and just walking to the old city to get comics.
The best thing ever.
Yes.
And that kept being the absolute best part about it.
But I'm just thinking, as a parent, I would be terrified if my kid went alone. Like my son right now goes to the city by himself. It's like half an hour away, you know, like 36 minutes by train. Yeah. And then he's gone.
Exactly.
And I don't know where he is. And there were no cell phones. They couldn't get a hold of me.
Nope.
I didn't even know where the fuck I lived if someone asked. You
exactly.
know, like basically.
Like, what's the name of your mom?
Just like
Mommy?
I don't know, Mom. Yeah, dude.
Yes.
It is insane. And they couldn't, like, if they found me there, they would have to drop me off, you know, in their van or at the police station, basically, depending on who you're bumping into. Because there was you couldn't Google my parents. You couldn't, like, you know, I don't even remember if we were in the phone, book
we were in the phone book.
Yeah,
we were.
But it's just insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, bought a lot of comics.
But then, okay, let's skip to the internet becoming accessible and something that we started trying to use.
Exactly, and it took a while before that caught on, you know, in a way where it
And you were a lot faster on that.
Yeah, but that's because I hung out with Patrick.
Yeah.
That was the only person that had a good computer.
Yeah.
Or by good... Yeah, but Martin came later because the interweb came, you know...
Yeah, in 5th grade, I think. Fourth
earlier.
Or 5th.
Yeah,
we had
earlier,
that one,
but it depends on where you... Yeah.
That one computer.
Because Patrick joined us in 4th grade or 5th grade. Yeah, 5th, I think, yeah. and he was way smarter than all of us because German schools are way stricter than Swedish dum-dum schools.
But he's also 10 years older than us.
No, he's
no.
just an experience when it comes to that shit.
Yeah.
Because he knew math. Like, even when we... like
Math, you mean?
Meth, yes.
Yeah.
He's doing meth now.
Yeah.
He
knew math, but now he does
now
math.
he does. No, but that kid, like, even when we, like, from 5th grade to 9th grade, like, math was never an issue for him. He's like, oh, I did this in 3rd grade, basically. You're like, what? So German engineering at its best, Patrick.
See, Germans.
Germans are really good at math. The one German that I know is really good at math.
Yeah.
And that means that every German is
all
every German is really good at math.
For sure.
In math.
Yeah.
No, man, but it was just, he had, like, his dad had a business and they had computers at home, you know, and I remember like just like a year or two before that, I discovered, you know, the comics, or I discovered J. Scott Campbell, basically. And then we had the access to the interwebs.
And you could type in his name.
Yes. And then we found, like, images that he had drawn and other artists. I don't remember how we found these pages.
You were the one that found all of it.
No, but I don't know. Like, I don't remember.
Alta Vista.
Yeah, exactly. And then we just wrote, like, comic or something, you know, like, with our limited English, and we found shit. And then it took forever to load one image. I remember asking Patrick to print these 3 images that I wanted, and you couldn't even see the image. There was this little squarish thing that was supposed to be an image, and then there was like this text, and then you clicked on it and you didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
So you had to wait like 40 minutes for the fucking pixels to kind of load, and you would get like pixel by pixel. It was like a loader, but forever.
Yeah.
And I remember he just like, I printed those pages, and you would get to like printouts, and you know, you would have a folder with your inspiration. Yeah. Jesus Christ, though.
We had a lot of those.
Dude, had a lot of those. I threw them away just a while back, and you know, and I so regret it now. I didn't think about it to save them for like this shit.
I think I've thrown all of mine away as well.
Yeah, I've thrown most of my things away. Like, I don't like the stuff. Or I've given the stuff that I can give away, but just printouts. I'm not going to give to some. Yeah. Here are some printouts. But it was insane. I used to have a folder. You know, now you have Pinterest and you have like a bazillion photos, or...
you don't even have to download any images now.
Yeah. But let's say I had a folder with like 50 images or 100 that I collected over years. Yeah. Because the interweb back then was garbage.
And you didn't have enough space on your computers.
Dude, same thing. I had a friend, like, once we got a computer, and he was like, oh, dude, I love the stuff that you're, like, inspired by. And I showed him, you know, I don't know how I showed him. But he was like, could you save some images for me? I'll bring you some discs, you know, like some floppy discs. They gave me like a disc, and I went home, and I was like, I could fit 8 images.
That was a big floppy disk, though.
No, but it wasn't those really big ones. It was the smaller ones, you know. But dude, I gave him, and I was like, I tried to fit in, you know, as many images as possible, and I was like 8.
Yeah, but I mean, like, one of those floppy disks was like...
It was nothing.
10,
it was like 10
kilobytes.
Yeah, it was like... or megabytes, or 2 megabytes, or whatever the
fuck.
Like
a megabyte was unheard of back in the day. It was all kilobytes. I remember, because I still have the floppy disk from school. You remember we got one floppy disk to save work on? Yes. Still have that.
Where you can save, like, a document.
And there is one story on there that's called The Sand Kings.
Nice.
That I think I've talked about in the previous episode.
But you have no way to access it.
No, I printed it out at some point, and that's it. But I still have the floppy disk.
Very cool. But, where it all began.
Where it all began, yes. But, so I was never really big on...
the computers.
Exactly. I just sort of... got the same inspiration stuff that you showed me. I tried to find
I brought that folder everywhere, basically.
And I just collected a lot of stupid images. Mm-hmm. And but I was always more into the comics or movies. That was always the one that took over when it was inspiration time. But yeah, and I think sort of this brings us to when we started hanging out more and drawing more together and doing our sort of just staying over and drawing forever sort of dates, whatever.
Yep. Yeah, I don't even know what to call it.
No.
Like end of the week, and then we just hung out, you know?
Yeah, or like summer holidays, and we were just hanging out all the time whenever we didn't work or whatever.
You know, we worked.
Yeah. I mean, we did have work, but also, yeah. And I think that was like everything that inspired us was secondary. It was more inspiring each other and just pushing.
It was that pushing. Yeah. Like, oh, he's so much better. I need to be better. Or he does that really well. I need to learn how to draw that. And
also helping each other.
Yeah.
Like when I was like, fuck, I love those eyes. Like I can't get that to work. And then you would be showing me how to do that and that. And
I remember.
Like, dude, I love your noses.
Yeah. Oh, man. But it is a great way to learn.
Yeah.
And instead of trying to discover everything on your own, like trying to teach each other, I think really boosted our art.
Yeah.
Because I remember same thing with your, like when we discovered ballpoint pens, you know, that you could actually use them for other stuff than writing. Yeah. You had this crazy rendering style that you kind of discovered, you know, that worked for you. And I was so jealous because it looked so realistic. I'm guessing that wasn't the case, but in my head,
no.
But in my head, it was way beyond what I could produce, you know, and like that competitiveness and jealousy, you know.
Yeah.
Like friendly jealousy, is that a thing?
Yeah.
But that mild jealousy, though, like it just kept, like it was a drive, a fire up the butt, you know, like just kind of improve.
Like just trying to one-up each other
all the time. It's like playing a really good fighting game where you win and then someone figures out your fighting style and then they beat your ass for a couple. And then you need to step up. Yeah.
So and that's exactly what it was. We never played fighting games because you always won.
Yep.
And I could never ever
It's a terrible metaphor for this if you're actually talking about Robert and fighting you. Like,
or any game.
But I love that. You were like, oh, you got to come over and try this like turtles tournament, blah, 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 whatever the fuck it was called.
Yeah.
Tournament fighters. Yes. And then I was just like beating you and you got so mad. I was like, okay, then do something else.
Yeah, but you know, once you've lost 500 billion times, it kind of starts to get to you.
Yep. Yes, it does.
Yes.
Doesn't matter who you are.
No. I mean, even the computer beats me. So, like, yeah, it's just.
But I love how that is still a thing. Like, it's still like, I'm just going to play on easy because, like, I just want to enjoy the game.
I lose just as much on easy. It's sad. I'm so bad. But, yeah, it is what it is.
As long as you enjoy it, it doesn't matter.
That's the thing.
But yeah, like we hung out a lot, we drew a lot, and when we got to like drinking age, we just hung out, we drank, and we drew.
Yeah.
Like I remember like us, like you bought this like really big from a friend like Marco or someone. We bought this like really big.
Like a carton of beer.
Yeah, and then we were like, okay, let's do something tonight. And then we would just like draw like until like 4 or 5 in the morning. Like just like open a beer, draw and drink.
And pass out.
Yeah. Just like so dumb.
Yes, so dumb, but awesome. Listening to music or watching cartoons and just, getting like buzzed and drawing stupid shit.
Sometimes I got more than buzzed.
Like,
whoa.
Yeah.
We were like, I drank 10 beers. Shit faced. Yeah. And then you would go to bed at like 7 a.m. and then you would sleep until the afternoon, you know, and then wake up and like, where am I?
Yeah. Where did the sun go?
Yeah. I guess back to drawing.
Oh yeah. Back to the drawing board.
Sounds like we drank every day.
Yeah. That's all I remember us doing. So did we do anything else?
But that was it. Like back then, you had to actually acquire. Like it took longer for the images on the interwebs to load than it took you to travel to the city, buy a comic that you enjoyed or find a comic that you enjoyed and come back home and you would have half that image loaded. So you can understand why
and realize it was the wrong image and had to start over.
Oh, dude, so many times.
Yeah.
Or you accidentally closed the window, or someone came and just like, I just need to look something up.
Or somebody picked up the phone to call somebody.
Oh my God, yes.
While
when
you were
had to do
downloading.
that shit, so there were a lot of problems, and you had to actually look for. You had to get creative about, like, if you wanted something. It was the library, I think, was the most accessible one because it was close to home as well. But you really had to work for your reference, and then the internet came along, and we all discovered the first 10 images of Google, or and that's, I think, where we get into present time or current time.
Yeah.
And how, like, finding inspiration, we're basically all finding it at the same place.
Yeah.
And when someone kind of, like, uses Pinterest for reference, which we all do, and it's fine to do, but you can also see that we're all kind of grabbing, inspiration from the same thing. I can actually tell when someone uses a specific reference,
I've started seeing that too, like in tattoos.
All the time,
like,
dude.
That's
I have that image saved myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, I saw this, like, I have this girl saved. She has, like, an officer's hat, and she holds a guitar. Like, it's a really nice picture. And I've seen
like a photo? Or
it's a photo. It's just a photo.
Drawing.
No, it's a photo. And I've seen it drawn so many times.
Oh, okay.
Like, they've changed it.
Yeah.
But
you still see the
You still see it. We're all using the same image, basically.
Yeah.
And I was so fired up about using it, and I'm probably still going to use it at some point.
Yeah.
But it is, like, I've already seen it, so it's kind of lost a bit of its
and
thing.
I think for me too, when I do see people using them, it's like, but it's done.
It's been done.
Yeah. I need to.
Like, I don't have to be original. I just don't want to redraw what you just drew.
Exactly.
Like, that's the thing. Like, I'll try to, like, if I'm going to use that reference, I'm going to try to, like, use the feeling of it and then do something else with it. Like, so you can't place it. Like, I don't want you to see the reference in my work.
That's the thing. Yeah.
And but it also, like, our current time, and I think this was really, really, I think ArtStation is becoming better, but for a while when ArtStation launched or relaunched, because it was CG Hub at some point, and then that got fucked up, and then those guys started ArtStation. It just felt like everyone was copying, everyone felt like a clone of each other, basically.
Yeah.
And then, the internet grew again. I don't know, like, more artists joined, and it changed a bit, but it becomes this, like, everyone becomes a watered down version of someone else because we're all inspired by each other. It's only normal since it is, like, thrown at us all the time. And I do it too. Sometimes people are like, oh, are you inspired by this? And, like, sometimes yes, and sometimes no, like, but it is like people can, like, you can start catching what people are inspired of if you're in that, I guess, niche of artwork that you enjoy.
It'd be cool to see, like, if there was a service or an app or something that would, like, just connect the people that drew the same from the same reference in a way, like, and just you could, like,
that's
share
actually
and compare.
Cool. Pinterest actually does have it where, like, let's say you grab an image, like that girl that I explained.
When you zoom a bit. Is that it?
No. When you click it and it kind of zooms in, and then you scroll down just a little, you can see, like, the drawn images below, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I think people have to actively do that. I don't know how that works, and, like, how that feature is activated.
Yeah, because I've seen it.
But I think it's like try this pin or something, and then people actually do, try a recipe or drawing, and then you connect it to that image. I think, and that's how that works. But it is pretty cool though. Like, and it's like a variety of artists, like, some are really bad, some really good, but, like, everyone's at their stage in development. And it's fun to see, no matter the level. But again, I think that something that we've pushed for is, if you want to draw something that isn't, what everyone else is doing, try to be, like, go back to that old mentality. You don't have to do this if you have a deadline, but if you want to do something cool creatively for yourself and you don't want to draw basically the same thing that everyone else is doing, try to find inspiration somewhere else. We've talked about it, like, find a funny tree. Yeah, exactly. Stay away from, like, maybe the first 50 to 100 images on Google, like,
exactly,
because we've all kind of used them.
Yeah,
because I've seen artwork that I thought was like concepts of stuff, and, and then I've Googled for like, let's say the same theme, like a pirate theme or I don't know, like any Roman theme. And then you get the first images and you're starting to see, you know, the designs that you were watching that someone did are just clones of those images, you know, like, or like they're so heavily the same that you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And I guess for someone,
that puts me off.
yeah,
You know what I
same
mean?
here, same here.
So,
But I understand because it's production and you don't have time. You just need to get it out. You know, you have a
just
week
need
to figure it out.
You need to finish the work. You need to just get it done.
So it is fine. It is totally fine. But also, that's, I think, where like some of the artists that I find on Instagram every now and then, I'm like, I don't see where this is coming from. How are they? Where is this? Like, this is their thing. You know, like they have influences that I'm not privy to. Like, this is not something I've seen. Like, I don't care about artists that can draw, you know, with their nose and their fingers and their toes, and they're drawing like 6 portraits at a time. It's impressive, sure, but I don't really care. Like, it is, you know, it's a skill, but it's not something that I would stay and watch.
Yeah.
But just interesting styles, you know, people that are like, when you can't place, where the fuck did they learn to, you know, see the world like this and express it in their art?
Yeah.
Like, those are more interesting to me, and I guess more as I get older as well. Like, for example, there are like, how many portrait artists are there out there? You know, I'm so tired of seeing people draw portraits. And then you find like, there's a Turkish guy, I don't remember what his name is, but he does these amazing sort of like, for example, like he draws a portrait, but like from basically like Pinterest photos and stuff, but then he just turns like her hair, like half her face is a waterfall or like a wave or something, you know, or he just does these crazy things with the portraits, and they're so well done.
Nice.
But he just does something different with them, you know, because there are a lot of these, like for a while there were these really highly polished like portraits, you know, in the same-ish style that everyone was doing, of like Instagram models basically.
Yeah.
And it was so boring, you know, like it just became like, I just started unfollowing them every time they showed up because I was so fed up with them.
Oh, I've been there too.
And I was super inspired by the first one. Like, I think the first one was like Blue Satan or Blue Satan or something like that was her name.
Okay.
And then I just stopped following everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't actually follow that many portrait artists anymore. No. It's not interesting. Like, I love drawing them myself, but I know also that I don't.
Mine are super uninteresting. Like, I just draw them because I enjoy them, and the people that do, you know, the ones that we mentioned probably also enjoy it.
Yeah.
And there are people that are inspired by that, and that's cool. But I don't even find my own portraits inspiring. You know what I mean? Like, they're so boring.
It's only when you, like, every once in a while do something different with it.
Yeah, when you figure it out. Yeah.
That's like, this is fucking amazing. I'm gonna do this all the time, and that was the last time you did it.
You did it. Yeah.
First and last. But yeah, no, I've really gotten out of the whole portrait thing.
I've never been good at it. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can draw made-up portraits well. Like, that is fun. But I just don't enjoy, you know, like looking at an image and drawing it.
Yeah, but it's something just satisfying when you finally get it looking the way it should.
I totally get that.
It's like building a house.
I don't do that.
You know?
I never get it right.
Yeah, but it's just because you need to just keep polishing it.
That's it.
And that's what I do enjoy. Like, there is that process, and it's just a sense of accomplishment because you know what the end result is going to.
Yeah, you know where you're going.
Exactly. Yeah. So you know when you're finished.
Dude, I have one of those that I really want to do, and it's Your Mom's House, the YMH podcast that I'm trying like to get one of the hosts like drawn, and then just put in all the sort of like the stuff that they say on the show that they made jokes about that are only, you know, funny to the people that listen, but they've watched like a lot of YouTube and TikTok clips where people do crazy shit, and I just want to like do that as tattoos on him, and just like I have a lot of ideas, but I just can't draw portraits of people. You know, like some are easier, like women I can do, but men, I've never drawn a male portrait like fully rendered, So I'm trying to get his likeness, and in the sketch it looks good. As soon as I start coloring, I'm just like, what the fuck is this? Like he looks like, I don't know. He looks like a bad guy from a movie, but not the person that I'm drawing. You know what I mean? Like it is. He looks basically like Nico Bellic's cousin or someone. You know,
awesome.
But he doesn't look like the person I'm trying to draw. But it is like I'm gonna finish that at some point. I just need to finish the freelance work.
I'd say use the liquefy tool more
to push things around.
Yeah, that's been a lifesaver and a game changer. Mm-hmm. The liquefy and also smudge tool, like those are my
I never use any of those.
I know, but I didn't like in the beginning. It felt like cheating, which it kind of is.
It is not bad.
But it's kind of you're painting with the whole drawn image that you have.
No,
cool.
That's fine.
I love it.
The only time I use the not liquefy, the smudge. One of them. I don't remember which one it is. I think it is the smudge tool. It's like when I've drawn outside the lines a little in some areas or there's missing color, I will just take that because it kind of like, it doesn't leave streaks or anything, you know, it just kind of like pushes the color in that area.
Yeah.
That's how I use it.
Yeah, I like that too. You get a nice effect around the whole image.
Yeah. So just pushing some of the...
And that is the difference. Like if you don't know what we're talking about, the smudge tool is like smudging color. It's almost like you're painting with oil.
Yeah. It's pushing
so you can, the color is all wet, so you can just rework it, whereas the liquefy tool doesn't smudge it, it just moves it around, so it keeps it solid and sort of crisp and clean. So if you have like very nice line work and stuff, you can still move that around a bit without it getting smudged and fucked up.
Yeah.
So that's the difference.
So it's basically like moving clay or bending clay, I guess.
Exactly.
Like it kind of is intact and just moves along with
Exactly.
You.
And the other one is moving the paint.
Yeah, it's smearing it out basically.
And I love that. It's just so satisfying. You do a rough shape and then you go in with liquefy to sort of get it more correct, and then you start putting in the color and like actually fleshing it out, and then you go in with the smudge, even it all out, get these nice smooth textures, and then repeat and keep going. That's the process.
But in regards of social media, and I guess like internet, it's not even social media, I'm just thinking that everything is feeding us imagery all the time, you know, and like we said in the beginning, like it's distracting us from the path that we are on, you know. So do you really do you feel like it is like if you're drawing something, let's say you're working on your posters, do you get like discouraged or, you know, encouraged or distracted by all this cool stuff that people are putting out?
Yes, I do. I always try to avoid even going into Instagram when I am drawing something, because it is going to ruin the whole experience. Not like destroy it, but really bring it down. And it's going to make me feel inferior in a lot of ways. And kind of the whole, like, what's the point feeling. So, yes, for sure. Like, because obviously you kind of only follow people that are better than you and that you look up to.
That's how you
So as soon as you open up that app, it's in your face. And I do follow a lot of poster artists, so I have to, I guess, take back the whole not following portrait artists, because that's all they do. But they have a lot of cool compositions and stuff, and as soon as that pops up, you're like, fuck.
Mine sucks.
Like, why did I should have done that. Like, that's so genius, you know, straight away. And you've already gone too far on the thing. And I draw traditionally a lot, so it's like, well, all right, I guess not finishing this. Yeah. So yes, but I guess right back at you then. Like, how do you react in that way?
Yes and no. I think I'm getting to a really good place when it comes to like how the internet is affecting me on a personal level, because it's been a struggle since 2012. You know, when
84.
social media. No, but I mean like when social media got so big that we're on it all the time.
Yeah.
Like, tell me one day, or someone that isn't like while you're listening to this, playing with your phone or doing something, you know. And like it took a while to kind of find myself and how I want to interact with, you know, social. And I put rules up, like not intentional rules per se that I just like said that I'm gonna do it like this.
Do's and don'ts.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't really done that, but it has become a pattern that I follow that works for me, and that kind of takes away some of that, that distraction. That like afterwards, when I've done something, I'll go in and still be like, yeah, mine is flat and boring, and this is amazing.
Yeah.
But while I'm doing it, I don't feel as distracted by the internet as I was before. Or
do you have any examples of those? Like what would you think of, or what would be a do and a don't, I guess?
Yeah, for example, I don't look at my feed.
No,
like I can't tell you when I looked at my feed. Like I'll see the first thing that kind of like when you log in, if that's on my feed, that's what I'll see.
Yeah,
but I won't scroll.
No.
I'll watch some stories. I'll interact with whoever wrote to me, and that is the end.
Yeah,
that's what I do. And then if I don't post anything, I don't stay on the app.
No.
And sometimes I will look at the explore page for a specific reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, that's cool. I'll save that for later. But I look more at the explore page now than I do anything else. But I don't look at I don't sit there and consume. Yeah. I just look at the first, I don't even scroll it, basically.
Yeah.
I'm on the first page. If I see something cool, I'll click it. And then I just interact with the people that interact with me, and then I'm out. Yeah. And that's how I've started using it. And it is the best.
Yeah, I think that's what I have to do now as well.
I'm not a consumer. I don't watch YouTube. I don't have that in me to. No. I've lost it, or worked it out of me to. I still do it a little, but it's not. I don't spend hours there.
No, I do. I still I love it so much. And for me, it is really the new way for me to get inspiration.
Yeah,
is watching people create stuff. And that's why I love YouTube, because there's so much of that creative. The whole community is more or less just people creating things in all different ways. And, I get equally inspired by a cooking show as watching Art Germ do something at Comic-Con. It's the same thing, but it's totally different areas. There's still a craftsmanship, being a master at a craft doing their thing, and it's so inspiring to see techniques and how all of this stuff is done. So that's why I'm a full-on YouTube addict. I have to watch people do things. And now it's I've really been into the whole model making thing now, because I think it's very far from what I do at all. There's still a lot of the clay and molding stuff, but there's so much other stuff that they do that I would never even start to tackle, which makes it better, because I'm not going to do that myself. It's just inspiring to watch somebody do that amount of work for that little thing, and then I can sit there and draw my Indiana Jones piece. It's just that took you 500 hours, and I did this in 2. Yeah, or whatever.
Yeah,
but
I can get it.
Yeah, just watching people do stuff is really my jams.
And I think that's inspiration can come from a lot of things. I noticed as growing up, it wasn't just because as a kid it was only imagery basically, and cartoons.
And actually we skipped the whole training phase, Kung Fu and all that stuff inspired us a lot, because that's kind of all we wanted to do. So we drew just that stuff, or whatever we drew was going to be this character that is a Kung Fu master.
Of course.
It was all connected. Yeah,
it was all connected. I even I still have the how to draw Kung Fu comics that I found.
When you got that one, I was I need it, and then I got it.
I don't even remember which one. I think I bought it at the Olive Glans comic shop.
Yeah.
That's where they had those the second comic book shop that was really good, or third actually, but that was I only count the Gamla Stan one, Comics Heaven, and Olive Glans real comic book shops. That's why I said the second.
But they were before Sci-Fi Book Store.
Exactly.
Because Olive Glans was the only place to go to get anime. Yeah. Back in the day.
But they had and then their collection was way better than it was easier to see where everything was than Comics Heaven.
So I think most of the
but
anime
they closed, right?
Yeah, they did. They went out of business. I think they're still online.
Okay,
or maybe
cool.
they got bought up by something.
I really like that comic.
It was such a nice, cozy place, and
they really had movies when you got in, and then they had the comics and books and everything
towards further in.
Yeah, further in. Yeah,
and they only had like the really, really cool stuff.
They had
way.
the very cool stuff, like the
best.
best stuff. Yeah, and I love that they had like the weekly or like the monthly comics like displayed, you know, on a wall, and then above that was like the collectors, sort of like the special edition stuff.
Yeah,
you know, like a black and white comic special edition, blah blah blah. Like everything was there, art books and stuff.
Yeah. You would just stand there drooling.
Yeah,
and
dude,
you would never have enough money.
Not enough money to
ever.
buy all of it.
And that was always the thing, like, because we got paid, or I at least got paid once a month, like the student whatever. We get like $100 every month.
Oh yeah, those that was that our parents gave us. Yeah. Never enough. Yeah,
never enough. So it's always like once a month we would just go in and buy the latest Street Fighter VHS, the anime.
Remember how much they cost?
Yeah,
like even
$259 or $279. $279
I think the
for
most
VHS.
expensive one I bought was like $500 almost, or $520 or something. Like, it was insane for a fucking VHS tape.
Yeah,
The Promise of Jackie Chan, and then it was like, you know, Jackie Chan does a cameo.
But I guess that was like a little test. It was like, how badly, or like, how much do you love Jackie Chan?
Yeah, and you couldn't Google this shit or anything. They just fucking...
It was a gamble, man.
Yeah. And you couldn't return them once you, like, opened them.
Of course not.
Motherfuckers.
Smart.
Yeah.
Smart fucks. But yeah, I'll glance for sure.
Imports, yeah.
The best.
God damn it.
Oh, so many useless VHS tapes now.
Mm-hmm.
And they've started falling apart, unfortunately. Like, they're like crackulating and stuff. It's really, really sad. Because I have
the carton ones and not the...
No, I have like the plastic carton ones.
Even those ones? Yeah.
Because I have like, they're kind of displayed in my storage unit now.
Yeah.
So when you come in, there's a shelf with the VHS tape.
I tried giving my VHS tapes away and nobody wanted them, you know, and I was like, okay, I'll just toss them then, fuck it.
Well, that's sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I wanted to display them in the house, but it's like, they're just so raggedy and take so much space.
Oh,
like,
dude, yes,
so
they do. Big. You put 10 of those in a row and you've filled up a fucking bookshelf. You're like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're lucky.
Yeah.
You can fit 10.
Oh, you don't fit them in the same.
Oh,
you put like 5 and 5, you know, or like something.
Oh,
just like.
I love that. But
others of an inspiration. Do you have anything?
I mean, like, so what inspires you today? Like, for me, I guess the YouTube
stories.
Stories?
Yeah, my own. Like trying to, or like not my own, but just any type of story.
And
like the rule of cool is not enough. Like, it needs to be really cool to work, you know. I think like Arcane could get away with a suckier story
because it's so beautiful.
It's so beautiful to look at. But mostly, even stuff that is well animated, like if the story sucks, like I get discouraged.
Yeah.
I don't get that thing. So I've gotten more of like, I need stories somehow, like video game stories. And I don't
even
want
that investment, I guess, like to get hooked.
Yeah, I want them to connect with me somehow. Like the rule of cool is not enough anymore.
But how does that inspire you to create stuff?
That's the thing. Like,
it
can be no, but I could go out for like, let's say, like I could do something that isn't related to art, and that. Like, I see inspiration as energy nowadays. It feels like it's like that. Like you do, it's like an adrenaline kick. You know, like once you get that, you can do anything. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I can run faster. I can jump higher. You know,
it keeps you in the game.
It keeps you in the game, exactly. Now I'm just hearing the song. You know that.
Yeah.
But it's just like when I watch a movie. And it kind of like gets to you in a good way, like even Logan that made you cry, you know. If you're
not just me.
Yeah, exactly. No, but I mean like us that watched it. But even like that energy, I can turn it into drawing. You know what I mean? Like I don't need it to be about drawing or someone being creative.
And that did inspire.
Dude, I could look at that Asian guy sorting mail all day and be inspired. You know what I mean? Like it's a flow thing. It's a feel thing. And it is just, that's all I need. I don't actually need anyone to draw because I feel that it's a bit done. You know what I mean? I don't want to watch any more people draw. I want to find other sources of inspiration to make me more creative.
Exactly, and I don't watch people draw anymore. Actually,
I do
think of it,
I do,
really
but
don't.
I don't do it as much. You know,
No.
like I don't dream to be someone else. The only reason I'll watch someone is to sometimes I want to like I'm just gonna watch him paint for a bit and just see real time painting. I don't care about the speed paint because it's super hard to learn anything.
Yeah, you just want to see the finished piece.
But I like watching people that speed paint, how they're sort of simplifying complex things. There's like an account that I follow that I can't think of the name that I just started following, but he just does these like really quick sort of speed paints in oil. But you can actually follow his process and kind of like understand what he's doing. I can't like he makes it look as if you like you could also do it, you know, and then you try and you're garbage. But but at least I can learn from that, you know. And like watching Kim Young-gi draw, that's like watching a printer. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it is super
really
inspiring. Like that I can at least watch, you know, and still
but
like
it's entertaining.
It is entertaining.
But is it inspiring? I don't know.
It is. It's
like, inspiring for me, because he can do it the way he does it.
Yeah,
but it doesn't inspire me to do it the way he does it.
No, not at all. And that's not how I consume media.
No.
You know what I mean? I don't watch Kim Young-gi to be able to do Kim Young-gi because printer level. It's like I don't watch Artem, you know, to because he's also like a printer. He has this thing in his mind that I can't access.
Yeah, he
just puts them out. Yeah,
and then it's done. Yeah.
Exactly. When he has the machine draw for him, you know, when he like puts it in the computer and then it kind of prints it out.
It's slower.
It's slower than he is, exactly. And that is so fucking true.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that I'm just trying to find like ways that I can like I watch people that ink, for example, or I'll just look at some ink drawings, like I'll save them and then just try to, you know, like, okay, how did they create this? And if I can find a video of them creating parts of something, then I'll watch that.
Yeah, I'm a zoom in junkie, I think. Yeah. Like every piece that I find interesting, I zoom in and just explore every single little thing and just like, ooh, that's interesting. Like you just find little... You analyze, you become a detective when it comes to artwork.
That's how I consume. Like if I'm consuming, like I'll find the video and then I'll skip all of it and then just go for the kill, like the thing that I want. And then discard it. Like that's how I consume if I'm going to consume because I don't want to waste time, you know. I don't need to hear about your sponsors.
No.
Unless I'm interested. No, but it's just like I just zoom into the thing that I want, whatever it is, and just try to get that and then leave.
Yeah.
Like, because I you know, you get sent so much stuff. Like, oh, you're going to like this. Like, no, I'm not. Like I'll probably
I'm
like
gonna
it.
like the end result, yeah. But,
no, but
the whole 25 minutes of...
Yeah. No, but the thing is, I would probably enjoy it. I just don't want to waste the time doing it. And
it's always that when somebody sends you something, it becomes a hassle.
Yeah.
When you don't find it yourself or like exploring. It's
yeah, because they're in that moment where
they're like, oh, this is so great. Ilias would love this. Bam.
Yeah.
You know, and
if it's really, really, really sort of like applies to me, I can almost predict that it's going to be sent to me. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
If somebody, because I've had videos and I can't think of the fucking video, but I had it sent to me from like 4 or 5 people in that same day. You know, and that's a lot for a video that is just like on the internet.
Yeah.
Like, it could be just anything.
But then it's just too spot on for you.
It's too spot on when I saw it.
Yeah.
And then it just like, have you seen this? It's I was like, yes, I know.
Yeah.
And it wasn't funny, the first person that sent it, because I was expecting it, and then it came, just like kept being sent. But I can't think of what the fuck the video was, because it was like when I saw it, I was like, this is me, basically. You know, like it's mine. Like I could have made this thing, or like it applies to me.
Yeah, but I mean, that's extremely apparent if you have that many people think of you while watching this
watching it,
And you also think of yourself.
Yeah, and I thought of myself watching it.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that's your thing.
Yeah.
You always think of yourself.
I think of myself, yeah.
Only while masturbating. Yeah.
Pass.
You cannot pass.
Yeah.
I had to derail us to move us on.
Yeah, I don't really have anything. I would just say that, like, when it comes to work stuff, you know, use the fastest. And when it comes to just exploring new ideas and you want to be different, do something different. You know,
Yeah.
like I think that's been said like a bazillion times by us and by others.
Yeah, and
Like-
also get out of that bubble, go
Yeah,
out a
no,
bit,
exactly
and explore, see the world,
Mm.
get like truly inspired, and not just inspired for that fleeting moment. You know, Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but I agree.
it's fleeting, man, fleeting,
Fleeting, bro.
fleeting, and we're fleeting on.
On. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-bam.
And we are fleeting.
Yes, we're back with Toolies.
Toolies, Tulia, Tulia. What's that from?
It's a song, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
But it's also that girl from,
Tulia.
yeah.
I
don't even remember the song.
No,
No.
that's
That's not
probably.
that.
That's
But it's one of those old songs that I just can't. Blah, 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 Tulia. I don't know if that's what they're saying, but
I thought it was from like a game. You know?
I don't remember. I don't really remember. Like, it's a memory of, like, they say something and then they finish it off with something that sounds like Tulia.
Yeah.
And I think the only reason I say that is because we had that girl in our class that was called
Tulin.
Tulin. Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
just like, it's such a weird connection, like a song that has nothing to do with her, but it sounds kind of like her name. So your mind has just made a connection and you're like, this is all nonsense.
Yeah.
But with that said, tools.
Yeah. Hit me.
Hit me. Okay.
Yeah.
So Photoshop, for all you Photoshop users out there, there is something called layer styles. So for example, if you create like a text in Photoshop and you double click where it says layer 1, like where that text naming thing is, like if you click beside it somewhere, there's a menu that's going to pop up in the middle of your screen.
If you click wrong, you'll be able
You'll
to
be able to-
rename the layer.
Exactly. You'll just rename the layer. But no. But what I wanted to recommend is I got asked earlier this week by one person how I make the logos. And it's so simple in my mind. But there are so many great tutorials out there, both on YouTube and on the interwebs in general, how to use layer styles. And they are so much fun. Like, even if you can't draw for shit, you don't have to with layer styles. You know what I mean?
It's just fun to explore.
It's fun to explore. You can make metallic looking things. You can make wood looking things.
I just always loved bevel and
Exactly. And it's one of the, bevel and emboss is one of the most misused things out there.
Oh, yeah.
But it is a lot of fun, so I understand why that is done. It's like the burn and color dodge and all those tools as well.
Love it. Love all of them.
But you could have some terrible experiences.
Oh, and I
But if you're working with text, the layer styles is so much fun to explore, and you can make copies of your text, you know, and then just add other layer styles and just build off of your text and make it look 3D-ish.
Nice.
And you could just make shapes as well. Like, you could just make like a square or a circle or, you know, whatever else you want to create. And then if you add that effect, you could get it to kind of feel like it's coming, you know, towards you, like you raise it or, you know. So there are a lot of like functionality there, and you can make some fun game logos with that. And that's how I've done most of my logos. And then I just do some like lighting effects and stuff, you know, hand painted, or I'll draw parts of the logo to make it look a bit more or less computer generated.
Yeah.
But it is a lot of fun to play around with. So I just wanted to basically, if you're stuck and don't know what to do, try finding like a super simple layer style tutorial, like how to make metallic text or how to make, you know, whatever the fuck is out there. And then just try it out. Follow the tutorial, you know, and just play around with all the effects, you know. There's like the bevel and emboss that we talked about. You could make it sort of so that it looks like burnt, like text burnt on wood, you know. So you could have like a photo of a piece of, like a plank or something that you found on Google, like a free to use image or a rock, and then you can have this.
Did you say plank?
Plank. Did you say plank?
Yeah.
and you could just make that text look like it was burned into the wood, you know, or like it's sticking out of the wood or something. And it's so much fun to play around with. And there are like,
easy.
It's so easy. Once you get the hang of like what the different things do, Like there's bevel and emboss. There's what do they call it? I don't even remember anymore. There's inner bevel, outer bevel, stroke bevel. I don't know. Like you can do a lot of things.
Yeah.
There's inner glow. There's outer glow. Like you can manipulate the shapes that you create, whether they're text or actual shapes, just basic shapes. You could do so much with it, and I really recommend you just find anything, how to use bevel and emboss, or how to make like a metallic text, and just try that out, because it is so rewarding if you're just creative and just want to like play around with something instead of staring at a camera.
You also need Photoshop, which I guess a lot of people don't really have these days.
This is
the Procreate era.
Yeah. This is a desktop or like a computer, an actual computer thing. So it is only for you Photoshoppers.
But it's also fun. So
but it is a lot of fun, yeah.
Maybe do a free, how many weeks do you get free?
I think it's 15 days only.
Yeah.
But I think 50 or 30 days, I don't know. 15 or 30.
I guess 2 weeks.
So 2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah. But, utilize those 2 weeks and experiment and have fun. Like, Ilias punches these out in like half an hour.
Yeah, I try to do them within the hour.
Yeah.
That's my goal. Like, if I could get them down to 30 minutes, that would be super cool.
Yeah. But, so you could take, a whole day of just sitting there and experimenting and doing a lot of fun stuff.
If you do this for a few days, you'll get really good at it.
Yeah. And then maybe it's even worth buying Photoshop because you're going to make all that money's back.
All the monies.
Yeah.
But it's a fun tool to play around with. Yeah. It's a lot of stuff, cool looking stuff for free.
And you're also a fun looking tool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Derp. Anything else on the thing?
No.
Like, okay.
I just wanted to give people, like, I gave them the symmetry tool, Now I thought, like, if you don't have Procreate, for example, now if you have Photoshop, you can play around with this shit instead. Also, the symmetry tool exists in Photoshop as well. Also, it looks like a little butterfly, I think, at the top there.
Yeah, it does. Nice.
Ding.
For me, well, first, I did get that new case for the iPad.
Maybe you call it Casey.
Yeah, maybe I will. Casey Jones. There you go. But yeah, so I went we have a store here that's called Net on Net, and I was in there and just actually when we bought the Chromecast, I walked past this beautiful case, Casey Jones, and I was like, wow, that's fucking awesome. And
how you doing, Casey?
It has that nice sort of keyboard and everything. It just looks so fancy and it feels fancy and it's kind of heavy, so it's expensive. And
you're paying by the
gram,
weight. Yeah, the gram. Yeah.
But yeah, so I didn't buy it when I saw it, but it was like stuck in my mind forever after seeing it. And
I just see you on a flower field running towards Casey.
Yeah. Casey
for like weeks.
He came with colors everywhere. But yeah, eventually my old, the raggedy Casey, I guess, really broke down and couldn't hold my iPad anymore.
It's not me, it's you.
Yeah, for sure. It just let me go. It went frozen on me. And I actually needed a new case, so I just went, all right, let's just get this one, and it cost fucking like $400, like 4,000 Swedish crowns, because I have the bigger iPad. So I guess like it's not a usual thing. The smaller one is almost half price.
I think it's an Apple thing.
Yeah, it's an Apple.
It's like
thing.
You want to buy this cord? That's $150.
That's exactly right. Yes. But Santa was struggling with like what she was going to get me for my birthday. So I just, well, if you don't know what to get, maybe you can chip in on this because I really want it and it'd be cool. So she did. So I got it, and then I was gonna like flip it, to draw, and there was no flipping to draw.
No flip up, no flip close.
It was only flip close. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's actually like in that sense, it's really bad because you only set it up and it becomes like a laptop. Yeah, or a MacBook, I guess.
Not even.
Not
it's
even
a floating fucking screen with a keyboard. It actually
sweet. Makes it cooler.
Dude, it's so much cooler.
It's so cool. Yeah, I really, really love it. And it does, like, it works just like a laptop. So all the letters light up and everything, and it's so, like, it just feels perfect to write on. So yeah, initially when I got it and I tried it out, I was angry because I'm like, fuck, why didn't I try flipping it when I was actually holding it in the store? But then, I had to work. So after work, went home and I had sort of let it sit for a while. And I was like, well, okay, so maybe it's meant to be. Like, I'm trying to be that guy again where I'm just like, everything is the way it should be and it goes the way it goes. So I was like, well, I have been wanting to write more. Maybe this is like it was meant to be. So now, all right, I'm just going to focus on writing my stories now. So that's going to be my thing because I couldn't get back into drawing and I've been nagging about that forever. And as soon as I realized that, what was the first thing I did? I sat down and drew. I drew a portrait.
Paper. I love that. Like,
yep.
I bought the case. I did the thing.
I'm like, I'm going to write so much.
Yeah. When I grow up, I'm going to be a writer. And then you just sat down and drew on paper. You're like, motherfucker.
Yes. So I actually drew something, which was really nice.
You whiny little bitch.
Yeah. No.
That's all you had to do was spend $400. That's how you cure art block.
Yeah, to spend a lot of money, so you have to work
on the wrong thing.
Yeah,
then come to terms with it
and do something different.
Yeah, and then do the thing you actually wanted to do.
It's perfect. So yeah, I guess like if you're art blocked, just go out and buy a car.
Yeah, exactly. Spend a lot of money.
Yeah. I'm going to go traveling so much after I draw this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but it was really nice. I just felt like drawing a face. Like that's all I wanted to do because we've been shitting on that for so much during this episode.
That's basically what I've drawn lately as well. That's why I'm shitting on it.
Yeah. So I just wanted to do something, and then went through my portrait folder on Pinterest, found in Indiana Jones. I was like, I haven't drawn Indy in a while. All right. So I just did that, and then did a very sort of sloppy coloring in with watercolor. Let that sit for quite a few hours, and then I went over that with fine liner and
I was like, did you gouache it dry?
I did not gouache it dry. But I was looking for my gouache. Because I wanted to use those, but they were too far away, so I was like, fuck, I need to do this now. Otherwise,
I can so relate.
If you can't find it, like the moment's gone, and then you don't want to do it anymore. So I found the liquid watercolors, which is kind of the same.
Ish.
And also realized that half of them had like broken and dried up. That's how much I used them. Never. But yeah, so like it was super sloppy and a lot of fun. And I really, like, when I started working in with the lines and all that stuff, that's when I started documenting it. And I just really wanted to document the process in this new way that I really enjoy, which is like a weird stop motion-esque thing where I just do, like, every time I take a break, I take at least 10 photographs and then I put them into an editing program and just make it into a movie.
With Benny Hill music.
With Benny Hill music, if you want.
Every time.
Yeah, every time.
Every time, if you want.
Yes, 60% of the time, every time. But yeah, so new case that I'm not using at all, and I drew again.
So don't buy it for drawing. It's great for writing.
Fantastic. Yes.
And fuck, I remembered something that we should have said earlier about the consuming less makes it so that when you do enter, you can still get that inspiration and not be so numb to it because you're like
over saturated.
Yeah, exactly. Or
Yep.
Yes.
Yes. So
Yes. So
less is more.
less is more is less. But goodbye.
West.
So continuing.
Continuing or moving on?
Moving on.
Yeah, moving on. What is continuing? This new word that you introduced.
No.
Continua?
Continue to move along.
Yeah.
Beep, 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 beep.
Start talking, Ilias. I need more.
It's retro time. This week we will be talking about things we've seen, and I've seen one thing I remembered, or two things.
Yeah, I'm also trying to remember stuff, and also trying to get more alcohol in my
Ooh la
system.
la. Okay, while you get drunk,
Yes.
I have seen Red, Pixar's new movie.
Oh, you saw that?
Yes, I saw it with my kids in Swedish, the best language to watch it, of course. But it was surprisingly fun.
Yeah, I've heard good things.
Yeah,
but
it's a bit screamy, like little teenage girls doing their thing. But, it's really well animated, and it has a very sort of like fun style to it. It's gorgeous. I guess like Encanto, like it is gorgeous. Like,
fuck, I still haven't seen Encanto.
Yeah, but it is like they're at another level.
They're churning out a lot of stuff now.
But I think like Encanto and Red, or Seeing Red, or Red,
I think just Red.
Red, yeah, whatever. But that one compared to Raya, the whatever ever movie,
Dragon.
Yeah,
Dragon thingy.
But Raya had that uncanny valley thing, because they went so realistic in some of the rendering or something. So like that little baby girl that we talked about before was like terrifying to look at.
Yes.
And some other characters as well were in Encanto and in
Red.
Or Encanto, and in Red, they've stylized it up so it looks like they both look gorgeous, like color-wise, character expressions. It's all really good. And watching it with my kids, they get a lot of the references and stuff. So it's a fun ride.
What's Red about?
I don't want to I don't know. How do I explain it without ruining it? Basically, it's about this little
Red
Chinese girl. No, it's about this little Chinese girl that's really good, at everything she does. And she wants to see this concert with a band named Four Town. And, there's a big red panda, and someone turns into said panda. I don't want to give more than that away, but it is it's a fun watch.
So is it something that you definitely recommend?
Yeah, I would definitely recommend this.
Okay.
It was a fun ride.
Nice.
But again, what I can say about the movie, I think it's again the same way that I felt about Encanto. It was beautiful. It was gorgeous. It's playful. This one continues that type of movie. Yeah. It's just I feel like I'm not the target audience. You know what I mean? My kids loved it, and I think they could I could even rewatch it. I could rewatch both of them. They're gorgeous pieces of work, but it just isn't for me.
Yeah.
It is a bit on the childish side of things, and I'm kind of getting a bit tired of that. So there's nothing wrong with the movie. I'm just not its target audience, but I think it is it is really nice. It's well animated and has a lot of they've really stepped up and instead of trying to do it realistically, they have this really nicely rendered, cartoonish, stylized style.
But they've kind of found their look now, I guess.
It feels like it, because it feels like Raya was a bit we're looking for something, and it was gorgeous.
Yeah.
But it was also scary.
Yeah.
And weird. So I'm really liking where they're going, but the stories aren't really, for me.
No.
But it does have its moments, and it's a recommendation for sure.
Yeah. I feel like we need a new sort of way of grading movies.
Yeah.
So is it a Sunday movie, or is it a every day of the week type movie?
You could as a kid, I would watch this all the time, I think.
Okay.
But I don't know. It is these stories, it feels like
just they're all in the same sort of dipped in the same batter.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess I'm just the predictability.
A solid.
They're predictable, so it didn't feel meh. It was very entertaining.
Okay,
but it is just once you've watched it, the story isn't something I guess we're just tired of like watching movies that we can predict.
Yeah.
And we're in that age now. So
yeah.
I don't know. Like it is a good movie though. Like it was. I'd rather just watch Arcane all the time.
Yeah.
That's wrong. It's hard, like to like. I don't even know how to explain it. Like I would need to think about it for like a couple of months to kind of like put my mind in how I would describe watching these movies.
Yeah, but
there's just something that isn't coming across for me. Like I don't know.
I mean, now we're recording this in the middle of the week, so maybe I don't have time to watch it. But I want to see it. It's kind of on my list, but I've never had the I don't really feel like watching it.
But maybe it is that it is childish for me, and the story is like a.
But I'll try to put that shit aside and just watch it, and then I'll come back and give my day of the week.
I would like to see it in English though.
Yeah,
I think that might change my mind.
Yeah, that normally does.
Yeah.
But I watched the new show. I don't know if it's new or old, but there's a new show on Netflix, and I'm really sorry for butchering this because this is going to be horrible. But I'm going to try to explain what the show is about.
The first thing you said about the show was really clear.
Okay,
it's when you try to explain the different parts that it gets confusing for us.
I'll try to keep that short, I guess. But the show is called Is It Cake? And that really does sum up the whole show.
Sure. Yep. And
so it is a baking show with people like master bakers.
Master bakers.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yes.
That fast.
But they specialize in doing realistic cakes,
like super crazy
duper,
realistic.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so the whole premise of the show is to fool the viewer and to which one is the fake or the cake or fake, I guess. I don't
know. Or fake.
Which one is the cake?
Yeah.
So, for example, you get like a full table of sneakers, and then one of those sneakers is a cake.
So
but
insane.
You have 20 seconds to find the cake, and then you have like a jury that's trying to find it. And there's a different part of this where it is you get a full table of different things, and you have to find the cake. And if you find the cake there, you get to choose your two teammates that you get to battle against, and then you do your own, your shoe
version,
or whatever the fuck it is. And so there's those different parts of the show.
Dumbest show ever,
I know.
But I'm curious to see it now.
It really, really is the most stupidest show, but it is also the most brilliant show. Like I say, this is the next level of entertainment when it comes to reality and sort of, what's it called? Like the genre, home, like the
home improvement shit?
Kind of.
What do you mean?
Yeah, like when they make things.
Because this one feels more like Face Off and the Tattoo show, where they
exactly
creatively battle each other, basically.
Yes.
Like, who does the what do you call the challenge best?
Exactly. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. But it's also kind of a game show in where they guess, you have to guess the right thing, and you also get money for it. And there's not just the one lump sum at the end of the whole show. It's every episode you get to win a little bit of money, which gives more incentive to everybody that participates. And everybody gets to participate. There's, I think, 10 people that are like really, really, these master bakers.
Yeah, master bakers.
But there's only 3 people each episode baking.
Yeah.
So
but that's good though. Like
also,
they contain the.
But then, it's up to the person that sort of guesses the thing to choose the people that he wants to battle or she wants to battle. And sometimes it's the same person multiple episodes. So like there's so much going on in this show that it's insane.
It's just trying to imagine that someone could bake a cake that looks exactly like a shoe, where you would have a hard time at a distance, at least, to tell it apart.
That's the thing, because
so crazy.
When I just saw the thing pop up on Netflix, I'm like, well, this is stupid. But
immediately,
immediately when you see the sneak preview thing, there's 2 bowling balls.
Guess what I found?
No, I don't want to know what you found. Shut up. Stop butting in. Goddamn, Sean Clark.
You found a picture of a watch.
Here's what I found.
Here's what I found.
Jesus.
You said, oh man, that was...
So there's 2 bowling balls, and they look identical, and then the host just brings out a knife and just stabs one, and it's a cake. Like, that's the show.
So stupid.
But it's great.
It's great.
Yes, and the people in the show are good.
The cakemanship or whatever the fuck you want to call it, like the craftsmanship is so good.
But then there's also the next level of that is every cake is delicious, and they're like,
what?
They don't just look good. It's the most extreme.
So they eat the cakes as well.
So it's like if the jury guesses right, that means that the baker loses, but then they get to taste the cake. So it's like there's so many.
Oh, you're such a loser, but it's so delicious.
Yeah. But some of these cakes are like to die for. Like, just when they talk about what they're doing, you're like, oh my god.
Dude, I'm just seeing you like sweat, like in that Japanese food anime that you watch.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Food Wars. Yeah. No, I would definitely be that person. Like, somebody did a donut cake. I don't know. It sounded amazing.
Dude, it's just like,
yeah.
In my mind, this plays out so wrong.
It's all wrong, but it's also right. But yeah, Is It Cake on Netflix? I've had so much fun with it.
I'm so curious to see this because
I couldn't stop watching. Yeah. I had to see who won.
So you fucking binged? I
binged the whole thing, and I started watching this like late. So I stayed up very early. But it was amazing. And it did give me more inspiration for a lot of things. But and then another thing, like the last thing, I guess, because this is an American show. Typically in an American food show or cook-off type thing, they always battle each other and they're like really angry and pissed. Here, they're all helping each other all the time and being really nice and fun and happy and like... a good vibe throughout the whole thing, and you really want them to succeed. You don't hate anybody, and
it's not about the drama. It's about
the craftsmanship and people supporting,
growing,
and being like very interested and like, oh, what are you doing? Like asking them what type of cake they're making and
That's nice.
Really, really good. So this is something that I really wish to see more of in different fields. I think it's a great format for a type of cook-off type show.
So remove Gordon Ramsay and everyone that's insane.
Enter Gordon Flamsy.
Flames.
Yeah, no.
Spotta i min mun. Sorry, everyone that doesn't speak Swedish, but it was not worth.
No,
like you didn't miss anything.
It is not that funny.
It is funny to us.
But yeah. So that was my really, really big thing this week. What else did I watch? I watched...
Well, you think about it. I did watch the Black Flag thing.
Oh, yeah.
So a continuation on that. I've seen 5 or 6 episodes. I am intrigued to keep watching, but it's a lot of hit and miss. Like, you love Taika Waititi because he is awesome. He is just like we said, like Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
All the movies that aren't Deadpool suck, basically. But
yeah,
it's Ryan Reynolds, and he is awesome.
You're just going to enjoy that part of that movie.
Yeah. Except actually that 9 Underground or 6 Underground, whatever the fuck. That movie, he wasn't funny.
No.
He was just like Magnets guy.
I don't even remember him in that movie.
Neither do I.
I don't remember that movie.
That movie. No. I remember there being at a rooftop, sniper. And then I don't remember. Yeah. But yeah, exactly. And Magnets.
Oh, yeah.
But that's it. Like a lot of the jokes fall flat.
Mm-hmm.
There are some fun moments, and then there's, like they don't succeed like they do, like what we do in The Shadow, where even the misses kind of hit home, Like there's something to the timing and the jokes that they do there that work well, and this feels like it would be the same.
Is it for the same target audience, or is it for a younger?
It feels like no. It's a grown up show, so it is like for us.
A lot of people dying and stuff. Or
Yeah. So and cutting off.
That's important.
But cutting off limbs and shit. It happens, but it's just like it's a bit like it falls a bit flat. I really love the idea and the direction they're trying to take it, and I'm still intrigued to watch. Like I'm not bored. It's just that it's a lot of misses.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the jokes are,
Oh.
They don't fly over your head. They just don't land. You know, like,
okay.
like they just don't land the jokes. Like I don't know what it is about them.
Maybe it was a stressed project and they couldn't be like relaxed and do their thing.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Like,
but it's just weird that, you know, I've never heard of the show. I haven't seen it advertised anywhere. Come to think of it, I didn't really see in What We Do in the Shadows being advertised anywhere either.
No, not at all. Like, I don't even remember how I discovered the show.
No.
I think I just saw it on HBO as a sort of like, it has a cover or like the image was
sticking out.
Yeah, it was like this
neon-y
greenish thing, and that's why I clicked it, because I got like Scooby-Doo vibes.
Yeah, you're like, that looks tasty.
Yeah, it just looked different, so I clicked, and it was like, oh, vampires, and then like, oh shit, Taika Waititi, blah blah blah. Okay, I'll watch it.
Sold. Yeah. But yeah, like I don't feel like watching it. You know.
No.
Yeah. I'm I guess if I haven't found anything
No,
else.
there's exactly. There's so many other things.
There's way too much. Yep. But also, I never find anything anymore. But I did watch Parasite.
But that's again, dude.
Just to,
that's the thing. There's so much out there that you kind of get put off.
Yeah.
Like inspiration-wise.
And I just end up going back to the stuff that I know and love, and keep rewatching that old stuff.
Actually, I was watching this documentary with what is his name? Like super famous CrossFitter. I think it's Matt Fraser. He's won CrossFit Games like a million times.
I know the name.
Yeah,
but
the thing is, like, he works out so much, you know, and they prep for the competitions, and you know, in the evenings he has like a couple of hours where he kind of relaxes and he just watches The Office.
Oh, yeah.
That's all he watches, because he's like, I only have this little time to just relax. So I just watch that over and over, because I know I won't be disappointed, basically.
Yeah.
It's just like, instead of trying to find something new, and it's like, I wasted this.
Because you take like 40 minutes just to find something, and then you start watching and you're like,
and it's garbage, and then you've wasted all the time.
Yeah.
So he just watches, for example. And I think it's I'm not saying that you should do the same thing over and over, but I'm just saying sometimes you got to stop the sort of like the input, you know. Like,
yeah, but I mean, that's the good thing about this segment of the show as well, is that we might help people, you know, sift through all of this shit and find those fun little gems. Like, for example, I don't think anybody had heard of that show before you mentioned it last week.
Maybe. Yeah.
You know, so...
Or
at least I
there are nerdier people than us out there.
For sure. For sure. Sure.
Being the number.
7
sure.
years
Bottles of rum. Let's move on.
But yeah, I saw Parasite, which is one of those that everybody's told me, you have to watch Parasite.
Yep, I have it in a note on my phone.
Yeah.
Never watched it. Train to Busan, Parasite, both there.
Yeah. I would definitely say Train to Busan before Parasite. Parasite is a great movie, but it's very arty. It's very, you know, drama type, but unique. And the story is great, and it really kind of Tarantino's towards the end, and it was a really, really good movie, but it's a strange movie as well. Like, does anything really happen or not? Like, it's slow going, and it's but it's like very, very interesting the whole time.
Are we talking about Parasite now?
Parasite.
Yeah. Cool.
Yes.
I was like, shit, we're still on
Train to Busan is more of an action-packed, super
stressful
drama.
Like
it's really great. It's one of the best zombie movies like ever. It's really good. If you like zombies, you have to watch it. Haven't seen the sequel, and I've heard that I shouldn't.
Yeah, that's what I've heard as well. Like, that's cool, but no.
Yeah. No, the first one is perfect. It's really, really perfect. But Parasite, for sure, you should watch it. It's I saw it on SVT Play, and I think it's just...
What?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah, actually, yes. They did play, not Hunger Games. What's that one? The show that got really popular with the red lights and the green lights and that kid started watching that I haven't seen. Squid Games.
Oh, yeah.
They actually showed that, and their numbers went up, and now they started importing more and more Korean TV.
There you go.
Entertainment.
I don't know how I ended up like finding it there.
I heard it on Nerdit, I think.
Yeah.
With that, Like,
Yeah, but that makes perfect sense. But it's only there for a limited time. So maybe when you hear this, maybe it's not even on there anymore. It doesn't matter. But I think it won an Oscar for Best Foreign Picture, and
it got really a lot of.
So it is a really good movie, but a weird movie. I'd say, like, if you enjoy The Lighthouse with Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe.
I haven't seen, but I know which one.
If you kind of enjoy movies like that, this one would be like a really, really, really great movie for you. Kind of. That was a weird example, but yeah. So that's something that I watched. And what else did I say? I saw something really stupid. Oh yeah, Super Troopers.
Super Troopers, classics.
Like, I was 100% sure I had seen this movie.
So this is better than Dude, Where's My Car?
It is. It is a lot better. And
how have the jokes aged?
I'd say fairly well. Like, there's nothing really offensive in there.
If you're Robert.
if you're me, of course. No, but there's really not that.
I don't remember.
It's, I'd say it's pretty solid as a good comedy now, still. Like, there's, they smoke weed and they do these things and they're really stupid, but they're kind of like if we were going to be cops. Like how we would be as cops. We would be messing with people, We would like make fun. There's one
just
scene
thinking about Let's Be Cops.
That's also a great movie. But now, for example, there's a scene they stop a guy for speeding, and before they go out, the partner says, "Let's do meow," and it's like, "I don't want to do meow." It's like, "Just do meow." And then he's like, okay, I'm going to get 10. And you're like, what the fuck are they talking about? And then they go up to the cops, to the speedy guy. It's like, can I license and registration, please? Meow, why did you do this? And then it just becomes quiet and he's like looking at the guy. And then you see the partner starting to like laugh a bit. And then every time he says now, he says meow. And they just do that like a thing, and then it just escalates and becomes like, I was almost shitting my pants laughing because it was perfect, like one of those perfect stupid scenes. And that's pretty much the whole movie. It's just those like very light and breezy comedy with chilled out dudes, like the Office Space kind of. And the story is about this precinct getting shut down and they're trying to save it by becoming better officers or getting more arrests and stuff. And they just have to do more extreme things to do that. But there's still like, there's this sense of no fucks given throughout the whole thing, which just makes it perfect. So Super Troopers on, I think, Star or on Disney.
Star. I was like, what is that? But it's Disney, yeah.
Yeah. I had a lot of fun. Like I said, I was 100% sure I had seen it.
Oh shit, it's on Disney, then it's probably fine. Yeah, they probably vet their movies.
Yeah, they do. And the sequel is on there too. So I'm probably going to watch it at some point.
Yeah, I think I've seen both for some reason.
Yeah, because when I started watching it and realized I hadn't seen it, I was like, Ilias has.
Yeah,
he must have seen
We rented those back in the day.
Yeah. And it's definitely one of those movies that we would have loved.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's pretty much everything I've seen. Then just old stuff.
Yeah, dude, and I haven't seen shit. Like I've seen Red and Black. Our Flag Means Death.
Yeah.
And that is it. The rest has been just listening to audio, or podcasts and stuff like that.
Which ones are you into now?
Right now, I started listening to the Best of the Bonfire, which is Big J Okerson and some other guy that basically, it's so funny. It's so wrong. It's so wrong. Like if we think we say stuff, they say
more stuff.
Way more stuff. Like they're really on the edge and beyond. But I got it recommended to me since I like Your Mom's House. And this one is just worse. Like it is so worse. And it's like they share some crazy stories about stuff that they embarrassing moments, and then they sort of like, tease each other about them, and but it's all like lighthearted, when they do. But it's basically just like the highlight, because the show I think is a lot longer. It's some type of like radio podcast thing that goes on for a while, and then they just cut together on Spotify. It's just like the best bits from it. And I only listen to stuff that is like easily accessible, through the streaming services that I have. Like if it's on YouTube and I can't close the app and listen, then I don't want to,
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fucking fun. Like I've laughed out loud. Like that's how much fun I'm having with that show. So.
Nice. What was it called again?
The Bonfire.
The Bonfire.
Yeah, with whatever I said before, name.
Dudes.
But it's basically comedians. That's why I like it. And yeah.
Nice.
And they're not afraid to joke about anything. They even said, like, I will never read the comments on anything regarding our show, basically.
Well, if they're comedians, I think they know.
Yeah, but
any sound comedian knows to not ever look at any comments.
Yeah, no, because they say some wild shit.
They make money off of being offensive, you know.
Yeah, but it's not for the sake of being offensive.
No.
But it is like, but they
as soon as we open our mouths, we are offending people.
Yes.
Like that's our gift. Yeah. But comedians are even better at that.
Yes,
so.
they really kind of find what really sort of like the. Whatever it is that kind of, I don't even have the words anymore.
but
they do find the thing, that is sort of in the ether and that, will offend everyone.
Yeah.
And they spin it in a way that's funny. But,
Yeah. Actually, speaking of that, I've gone back and just had the Chappelle show on in the background while I draw stuff.
I haven't seen that in years.
Yeah. Just speaking of offensive, like, because it's kind of old now. So it is. It's not as PC as it used to be. It's just sometimes it's a little awkward.
Dave Chappelle still steps on toes. Like if you've seen any of his recent comedy specials.
I love his recent comedy specials. It's just he's so sick of it, You just tell that he's just like, I don't care what you guys think. This is what I think.
Yeah, but it is also,
but in a good way.
But that's the thing. It's an act as well, so it's not genius. Exactly what he thinks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's like the truth mixed with the extreme to kind of drive a point across.
Yeah.
So,
actually, speaking of genius, I saw the Kanye West documentary. It's a 3-part documentary.
Yeah, I heard. I haven't seen it.
Genius. I mean, I'm not the biggest Kanye West fan, but it was still kind of entertaining. It was but I mean, he's got a few really, really good hits.
Yeah,
and me being the old b-boy that I am, there's a lot of really good music there to dance to. But that's old Kanye, and now I don't know what the fuck's he got.
Crazy Kanye.
I don't know what's happened.
Dude, when I was in New York, there was this guy with like he had this sort of like, like those bags with wheels that you can drag behind you sort of when you go shopping and shit.
Oh, yeah.
He had one of those with like a really big speaker on it, like a crazy big speaker, or like he detached it and added a speaker basically. Like the bag wasn't there, and he would just he was like, don't believe anything Kanye West says. Blah. He's just like screaming on a random street in New York City. Just
screaming the truth.
Yeah. But it was like the most insane shit.
Yeah.
Like New York is really what you expect it to be when you visit. Like,
is it?
Yeah, dude. I saw a man at Penn Station playing the flute in his underwear. We had the lady with the Boston or like the Brooklyn accent selling pizza, where you could buy pizza slices, and she got really angry at the guy in front of me. She was like, "You've been standing in line," and blah blah blah, like just and she was so annoyed because he was like,
"What already?"
Yeah, but dude, exactly that. And then I was like, oh, shit, now I'm super nervous to order. And she was like, what can I get you, sweetheart? Like that thing. And you're like, what? It just felt like a movie,
Yeah. Oh,
and I was like, I'll just have number 3 and, 4. And she was like, you'll get it over there, blah, blah, blah. And then she just took the next guy, But it was just like so terrifying. And she was like this big woman as well, You're like, motherfucker. But she just gave him such a fucking
hard time.
Yeah. But he was slow. There were so many people before him that just like, next. And then this guy's like, and she just like, not having that.
But I get that. Like,
he was in line for like, as long as we were. He was like the guy next to me. Like, we stood there for a while, and he was like...
maybe he didn't have his glasses with him. Maybe he couldn't see what was on the
thing. Doesn't
thing.
matter. She gave us a show.
Yeah. But yeah, the Kanye thing, like, it's interesting. It's really fun because you get to understand him more.
Is it as fun as the Michael Jackson documentary?
I guess. Maybe.
No.
Because it's not like...
Couldn't even finish. Jesus.
I don't think... it doesn't really put him in a good light, if you know what I mean. So it's not like him kissing his own ass.
Is it made by him?
No, it's made by somebody that sort of tagged along throughout most of his career and then just got shit tossed in his face by Kanye, who was just like from one day to the next. Like, yeah, see ya. It's really weird, but interesting in that way, and just really... Like, he is a genius, but I would say he's probably on the spectrum as well. Like, there's something off.
I don't know. I haven't seen him enough in interactions,
Same here, which that's why it was a little bit interesting.
So I don't know.
Because, well, the little bit of interest that I had helped me through the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
And then it was just nice to have that on the background or in the background. It's a long documentary, it's 3 parts.
Yeah.
So it's at least 3 hours, I guess. But... like, well made, and you do get to see a lot of the stuff around and get to hear the whole journey of him from then to now, which is interesting because, he went from being just a really good musician and everybody was shitting on him to that totally just flipping out and him believing he is the new, God or Jesus. Like, for real. It's
what happened there?
Yeah.
That's like what I'm curious about.
Exactly.
Like, how does that happen?
So watch the documentary and find out.
No.
But yeah.
I don't think you get, I don't think the satisfaction is there for me to watch that. Like,
I'd say, like, if you do have the interest, I'd say it's definitely worth it. Or if you have interest in hip hop in general, because you get to see a lot of people, other, like... JC.
No, I heard
Pharrell
really good things about it, like from the people that
and
saw
again,
it. It's interesting.
It's well made, and like the music is fucking good. Like, yeah.
I only know the Daft Punk remix song.
I mean, you have
isn't that
Touch the Sky is great.
Hated that song when it came.
Oh really?
Like, I still don't like it. Yeah.
But yeah, that was the genius.
That's him.
That's
right?
him.
Yeah, and that's a Daft Punk remix.
It's a Daft Punk song that he made kind of his thing. Yeah. But that was also one of the genius things that he did. Like, he just knew how to, I need to work with this person because they're the best and I'm the best, so we're going to make something the bestest. But that was also, like, speaking of, like, how a normal artist is very sort of humble. And, like, if you give me a compliment, then I would be like, well, but, this is wrong and this and that. And, I'm not really happy with this. If you said that to him, I'm like, yeah, I know. Of course. Like, why would I make this if it's not the best shit that you've ever heard? What's wrong with you? Like that,
He'll offend you back.
But then you get to meet his mom, and you realize, like, oh, that's why.
Crazy.
Not at all. She was a beautiful lady, but giving him maybe a little bit too much of a confidence boost.
Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah. Now I see where you're getting at.
Yeah. But I don't want to say way too much.
But
that is kind of the thing. And that was just like, oh, okay. I get it now.
Okay.
But yeah.
I have a recommendation to music-wise.
Oh.
I rediscovered Daft Punk.
No way.
On the subject of Kanye.
Awesome. Yeah, I do have my Daft Punk periods.
Dude.
Like, every once in a while.
I have them like once every few years. Like, last time was in, I don't remember the year exactly, but when I went to Dubai, and they had just dropped the latest album,
the last album.
The last
maybe,
album,
I
yeah.
guess.
But it was just like, that's my go to Dubai soundtrack. But I listened to something, like it came on, I was listening to an artist, radio, and then like one of the old Daft Punk, like Aerodynamic or something came.
Oh, nice.
Oh, no, shit. No, that's not it, actually. I bought a shaker. I ruined, like, I forgot my protein shaker in the car for a week.
Oh.
And I had to buy a new one. So we went by a store, and on my new shaker it says, faster, stronger, like it says
cool.
and I was like, I'm going to train to Daft Punk today.
Nice.
And I just put on like Aerodynamic and Strong and all those songs. And they're so good. Like
Right.
I forgot how you could make cutoff sounds be so good.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you listen to that and you're like, they're geniuses.
Yeah.
And those like that sound that I made, it's even cut off. Like it gets like and it just like they cut it off just by the end there.
Yeah.
And then the next one just plays. And like the last part of that song, like faster, harder, faster,
Stronger.
whatever.
Stronger.
I never remember the order.
Yeah.
It's
R6
equally, yeah, but never harder, faster, stronger, better. But I just listened to that, and like the end of that song, the last 1:30, like 1 minute and 30 seconds, is just basically they going all in on the fucking and it is like it's so satisfying that you can make blip blops that sound so good.
Yeah.
I would say that's what makes Kanye's song so good is Daft Punk. But it is
The
just
blip blops.
the blip blops are so good. Like, and then I just started listening to all these songs, Aerodynamic and what is that other one song from that same album? But it's just like they're so good. Like they're so good.
What's the slow one called? They always have some weird names.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
exactly. Exactly.
But I really love the Alive.
Oh,
album.
Alive. Dude, the live one as well. Like,
no, but that is
usually,
the live.
it is it is. But that version of the songs where you don't think like, the live. I hate live albums because you're like, I can't hear the song properly. But that one is so good.
And how they just geniusly mix together their
own songs so well.
Like that is total masturbation for them. Like,
but even the latest
so good.
album, the last one, is also so good. Like some of those songs are so good.
Yeah, with Pharrell.
Yes. And what I noticed in that one, when I went back and listened to the early stuff, like the early stuff is really well mixed.
Yeah.
But the new one is perfection.
Yeah.
Like it is so good.
Yeah, but that's them really just achieving God mode.
But they're just playing around with stuff that they've like mastered.
But also bringing in these geniuses like Pharrell and the guy playing guitar, like he's this genius soul guitar dude
but
whatever.
It's
perfect.
Yeah, it's everything. They just symbiosis, like it all just works together.
Yeah. But they've also evolved their music so much, but not.
But remember when Get Lucky was on the radio and you were like, okay, shit, now they played this too much. But now I go back and listen to it.
Like, boom, straight away.
It is so good. It is so good. Like, how can it be this good after being ruined?
Yeah. Like, well, for me, it's kind of like The Weeknd, Blinding Lights.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah. Like, I've listened to so many versions of that. There's a girl called... Loy or something like that. Like I don't know who she is, but she does a version of that as well. That's also good.
Yeah, but it's just like always so good. It doesn't matter how you're feeling.
Yeah.
After that song, you feel better. Yeah. It's just so fucking good because I heard it just on the way over.
Yeah. No, but I agree. Like that song,
you get so pumped straight away, and it's that sort of neon *80s pop whatever sound it is.
Yeah, it has that.
It just brings you up straight away.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just us being old. 80s kids, but
old,
but yeah.
But I really recommend everyone to go back and just kind of rediscover a lot of the old tracks from Daft Punk. It was like I listened to them while working, while working out, while just existing. It was just so good I couldn't stop. Like even on my way to the show, last week and the week before, I listened to Daft Punk because it was so good.
Yeah, I do have either it's Daft Punk or the Prodigy sort of phases. Like, if it's Prodigy one year, then it's going to be Daft Punk the other year.
Shit,
and I just go back.
To the
and same there. Like, they're so good. Like, and especially the way the Prodigy has evolved as well. Like,
yeah, they stayed relevant.
Yeah.
Like they managed to like evolve instead of getting lost. You
and
know,
just
like
keeping their sound, or like his sound. It's actually just the one dude with other people, but it's so impressive and so fucking hard hitting and great. And some of the songs are perfectly mellow, and you just like
good. I'm gonna actually try to listen because I've worn out all the music that I listen to. So
just
maybe
do radio.
Go back to Prodigy and just do radio and just see what else I can get recommended to me.
It's so nice when you get to compare the new and the old in one playlist. I love that. Like Spotify is so perfect in that way, where you really.
But I think it's gotten like worse. Yeah, they've limited the amount of songs on the radio.
Yeah,
and like even my recommendations right now are horrible.
I was actually happily surprised this weekend. Actually, the Sunday, I had to work Sunday. It was horrible. But I had a very short playlist, and I just kept it going. And it just gave me, like, gold nuggets every single new song. Like, when the radio kept... And it just kept going. It never stopped. It was really weird. Like, that's never happened. Normally, it's the same songs over and over and over again, like, from... the ones that you always listen to, and then once in a while you get a new song and it's not super good.
Yeah, I'm thinking of throwing away some playlists so that it doesn't give
fresh,
me. Yeah, because it's recommending like songs I really don't want to hear. It's like that generic, like same sounding rock music.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm just like, no. You know what it does now? Like I've taken songs to be removed, you know, like the like never play this again.
Yeah.
And now in my playlist, there are those songs. Like, you know, it's a new week and like recommendations are songs that I've told them not to play are included in the playlist. Already marked from like 5 playlists ago.
Yeah. Oh, that's a straight up fuck you from Spotify.
That is definitely a straight. You listen too much, and we don't have any more songs to recommend you.
Thank you for all your money. Here's what you don't want. Bam.
Sons of a bitch. I'm gonna leave, and I'm gonna announce it on everywhere.
Yeah.
That I don't want to be on Spotify anymore.
Well, smart.
Because I want to go home.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Speaking of going home.
Going home. Blah blah blah.
Let's go listen to some.
Oh shit! What is? Oh shit! Yeah, it's almost 8:00.
Oh, son of a bitch!
You son of a bitch!
Why?
Come on!
Why we do this?
Time to go.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't do Arnold. Why did I?
Come on. Clock. Hey Siri. Say good night to the podcast listeners. Oh, Sean Clock. Now you don't.
Continue on your personal device.
Your face is a personal device.
Yeah.
Sean Clock.
I should put you in a vice. And that was.
Nice. Goodbye.
No.
Robert will say something really good now.
Really good now.
Woo!